And so how long do you have to keep something going to ensure that the changes last? So how do we differentiate from, say, me recognising a novel activity that I've found sort of in isolation that I enjoy in this situation? How do I ensure that it then sort of graduates into something that's going to be more part of my routine when I suppose it's challenged by some of these restrictions that we're faced at the moment being lifted?
Okay, well, forming habits. I think there's some fascinating things about this that come up from brain science. But if we go back to the general thing, it seems to me from working with lots of people looking to change their behaviour in many ways, including getting over addictions like quitting smoking or something like that, establishing a new habit takes about 4 months. And one way that we see that is that, well, take addictions. If someone quits smoking, 90% of relapses are going to happen in the first 4 months. So if people can get through the first 4 months, they're much more likely to continue on with a habit of not smoking. I've also seen this with people with problems with losing their temper. And so they wanted to work on controlling their anger reactions better. And typically, if people really persisted at different ways of managing their anger, looking at sort of, leaving the situation, calming themselves down, talking to themselves through it, if people found ways of reacting to their anger without sort of losing their temper, after 4 months, after 4 months of maintaining a change, it tended to stick, even if they'd had real long-term problems with anger. There was that kind of improvement. So any kind of activity, building in an extra exercise routine into our lives. I imagine many people in the past who went to a gym or a Zumba class or boot camp, I'll bet getting up in the morning and going there and following through was often like a bit easier and more established, more like the thing that you felt like doing after about 4 months plus. Now, this relates partly to the brain science. But so the general thing that I would tend to say to people is you change your behaviour for like a few days or a week or two, big deal, you change your behaviour. If you change your behaviour for 4 months, then you've built a habit. If you change your behaviour for 2 years, you've altered your personality functioning. So at first we look to do something new, which is like rewarding, accessible, it's doable, build it into a routine, keep it going for 4 months. Then we've got a habit. Keep on going beyond that. Build it into your life. So then being active is part of your personality functioning. It's part of your ongoing ways of being. And so I'm getting back to the brain science now. Now, if we do some kind of novel activity, like first time in a long time you've picked up your running shoes and you're going for a jog around a certain kind of circuit. You've not run before, but you do something new, you do something novel. Now, we can form a new synapse in 90 minutes. So learning a new activity, if we learn a new kind of exercise, practice it for 90 minutes, we've formed a new synapse, which is a connection between brain cells. You do something new habit for 4 weeks, a month, you've established a new brain cell or a new neuron in a neural network. After 4 months, those brain cells mature. So it's like a vine growing. A new habit means that there are changes in our brain connections, like this brain network that underlies the new behaviour. And once we've established those brain connections, that neural network, 4 months plus, it makes it easier to keep on going.